Hello, hello. So let's take a look at the answers for the pile-up, and we're going to post a few more pile-ups for you just to do as a practice. They're kind of fun, we hope you find. So I'm going to start with the obvious, and I'm just going to put this being 180 minus 52 and this being 28. You don't necessarily need to go in order. So what I'm going to start with is this big triangle here, which I know has a sum of 180 degrees. This is 90 degrees, so I'm just going to do 90 minus 28 for this one. 62, yes, Ms. Walsh, good. Okay, so this one right here is 62 degrees. Okay, now we're going to evoke the power of the Star Trek theorem, and hopefully you remember that the one on the arc is always is always half the one that is at the center. So therefore, our A is 31. All right, let's move along. And what do we have next? We have B next. So we're coming right back here. And hopefully you can see that what we have here is, these are two tangents. And if there are two tangents from the same point, remember the theorem, that means they're the same length. As well, you can see that this right here is our radius tangent theorem. So that means that these right here will be 90 degrees. From then on, we can complete the problem. So this 90, 90, the 28, and the B is going to lead us to 360. So if you do the subtraction, this and B is going to be 180. And then your B is going to be 152. All right, let's see what C has to offer. Where's C? Yes, there. Yes, this is the one that took me a little bit of time because I kept looking at it going, but it's not quite 90. It's not this radius tangent. What do we do? Until finally, I saw that actually both of these are radii. So what we're going to have here is we're going to have an isosceles triangle. Yeah? So the 152 and this right here, this is going to be 28. So our central angle is 28. And so our C is going to be 180 minus 28. Divided by 2. So let's do 180 minus 28 divided by 2. And we're going to end up with 76 for C. Okay. All right. Let's go on to D. D is not overly complicated because hopefully you can see right away that you've got a diameter here. And you remember that an angle formed by the lines that are subtended by the diameter is always 90 degrees. So therefore our D is going to be D plus 26 plus 90 is 180. So I'm just going to do 90 minus 26 and I'm going to have 64 degrees. All right, next exciting color, step on up. Where are we? We're on E. E. This is the one that actually when I did it first, I made a mistake. And I don't know if any of you made this mistake, but I automatically thought of the quadrilateral theorem, where you have the quadrilateral, the opposite ends will be supplementary. And then I was like, what? Wrong. And that's because that's not the whole angle, right? So this whole angle, and 82, would have been 180 degrees. So what to do? Well, I know that 58 and this one are going to be 180. So do 180 minus 58 to get this one, and that's going to be 122. And now what we can do is we can use this as a quadrilateral. The fact that the quadrilateral ends up to being 360, and so therefore E is going to be 360 minus those two. Go ahead and type in with me, of course, much better for your learning if you're doing it along. And 60 degrees is what you get here. Where are we next? We are on F. All right, well, you got two same angles, and that's a straight line. They've got to together make 180 degrees, so the only thing that those can be is 90 degrees. H. H was tough, and as I'm looking at the quiz results coming in, I can see that a number of you actually got it wrong. It's not easy. First of all, perhaps you can see that by that alternate segment theorem, do you remember? That the angle outside will be the same as the inner angle that the outer angle is whose sides it's not touching. So that one students sometimes forget or don't think of using. So just review that one. These will be the same. Okay, so then what? Well, this took me a little while to think of, but then I thought of this. Can you see that what I've just done is I've just drawn another radius, and what this will allow me to do is this will allow me to label this as 18 degrees as well. From then on, I'm just going to use my Star Trek theorem because this is 180. So this big angle here, even though it doesn't look like that to scale actually, that one is going to be 144 degrees, which certainly doesn't look like it. I do apologize. A lot of these diagrams aren't to scale. From there on, we can do our little half again. So I'll just draw the Star Trek, this, and hopefully you remember that this is x and this is 2x. And so if this is 144, divide that by 2 and you get 72 degrees. So if this is 72 degrees, this is 72 degrees, and there's our answer. Okay, so that was today's little quiz. Many of you got full marks on that, which is great. And just to end with a little joke. Do we know this one? What did the 0 say to the 8? Nice belt. Ha 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 ha.